Welcome to the first edition of the Book of Genetics. In this video right here, you guys, we're going to be speaking about the first group of people on the planet Earth, the chosen people. And I want to also speak about the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden, the serpent seed, and how snake people were created in the Garden of Eden with the seed of Cain. Okay? Now, it's obvious that the first man was colored, you guys, because in the book of Genesis, it says, "Then the Lord God formed the man from dust of the ground. He breathed the breath of life into man's nostrils, and the man became a living person." When you guys go outside and you look at the dust of the earth, what do you see? See, dust doesn't just come in one shade, it comes in many shades. So the first man could have been any color of dust, but it's obvious he's colored, right? You have dark, you have bronze, you have brown, you have dark brown, and then you got the maroonish looking brown, right? Many different shades of black. So if Adam was a black man, Eve was also a black man. If Adam and Eve were black, then so was the reptilian that shapeshifted before them. Because he would have had to have blended in with them, for them to have felt comfortable with them. So he shapeshifted himself into something that would have made them feel comfortable. Okay? When you guys hear stories about talking serpents and shit like that, just know they're talking about reptilians. So if the first people on Earth were black, that means Cain was also a black man. One moment, you guys. Cain, in the Bible, you guys, was the first murderer, right? But Satan is also known as a murderer in the Bible. Why does God call Satan the murderer? He killed regular human genetics and created a serpent race of people. A race of people that would have wanted to become dominant just as their father is. They want to become gods over regular people. They want power. They have a greed for power, just as Satan does. Okay? That's what Cain was in the Holy Bible. Jealous, envious towards his brother. Sneaky and conniving. Just like the serpent. This is a little more of a vivid picture of what it would have looked like. Adam and Eve were black, right? The serpent was able to talk. He was able to speak with them. You guys really believe that it was an apple that brought about the seed of Cain? No. How could a piece of fruit give people knowledge of good and evil? What happened was Satan corrupted the bloodlines. He gave birth to Cain. She gave birth to Abel. Abel was a righteous man, feared God. Cain was just like his father, rebellious. Do what thou wilt, and his offering wasn't half as good as Abel's. He was a genetic mutant. This provoked envy in Cain. He murdered his brother. Abel was a good seed because, as we know in the Bible, your children are known as your seeds. What happened was Satan corrupted the gene pools and gave birth to a bad seed that would have taught the world nothing but evil. Because your seeds are what brings you knowledge. They bring you understanding also. Right? So the story in the Bible, you guys, was about a reptilian creating a reptile humanoid race of people. But in particular, you guys, in this video, we're going to be speaking about the ancient Egyptians. Because the ancient Egyptians, you guys, are a lizard people. Okay? They're a lizard people. Israelites and ancient Egyptians lived on one land with each other. because just like Cain and Abel, they look like each other, you know. But they were two total different groups of people. Their interests, the gods that they serve, the way that they treat women, the way that they treat the land was totally different, right? Israelites got caught up in some of the ancient Egyptians' ways of, living life. And that is what brought about the curses of Deuteronomy, you know? Because you had Israelites living on land with Egyptians, taking on Egyptian customs, bringing about curses on them, just as the seed of Cain was cursed, okay? Now, Egypt is in Africa, you guys, obviously. Africans and African Americans are two different people, even though some African Americans look like Africans. But that's because everybody has been having sex with each other lately. You know, you got Israelites mixing in with the Egyptians. You got Egyptians mixing in with all other groups of people, Indians, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans. Everybody's gene pools is being corrupted nowadays. So a lot of people are starting to look similar to each other. You got Dominicans that look like regular African people nowadays. You know, just as dark as they are, height, same weight, everything. But they are not the same people. Africans, you guys, still follow the same traditions as the ancient Egyptians. The ancient Egyptians, you guys, practice voodoo, witchcraft, magic. The Israelites had to follow the Ten Commandments. And every commandment that's written inside of the Holy Bible was broken on the land of Egypt, you guys. You know? God tells for you, do not make any markings or cuttings on your flesh, for it is an abomination to you, right? You see African tribes that still put these markings and their cuttings on them, and they even do it at like in childhood, early childhood. You know, that is the way that they raised the pharaohs too. Markings and cuttings on their flesh early, having them going out fighting against animals out in nature to try to see if they were worthy to be a king. You know, all of that. It was demonic. But you got some people out here, they accept this shit as normal. You know? What is normal about a little child going out into nature and fighting a bear or a lion with a spear? And if he comes back alive, then he's made the king. It was like that because the fallen angels were already fierce people at an early age. You know, you see these demonic seeds growing up in your neighborhoods. They grow up a little too fast. You know, they're very advanced. They're like adults in child's bodies. Like, they come from the Nephilim bloodline. In Africa, you guys, there are different tribes. And they still follow the ancient traditions passed on to them from their gods. You know, the fallen angels. They learned magic and voodoo from demons. The first people on Earth were black. So the first reptilian people on Earth were also black. You know? People don't understand how far back this shit goes. And they are still here with us in today's generation. You know? People say Africa is the richest land. I do believe they have the richest soil. But it's a cursed land. You know? The things that these people are practicing over there is crazy. You know, you go do your research about Africa. There's big sex trafficking rings going on over there in Africa. You know, why does it go on? Because it's written inside of the Bible. The Africans are the very people that sold the Israelites into slavery. That's why they have no problem selling their children to Caucasians for a certain amount of money. You know, they're serpent people. They work hand in hand with devils. And all Caucasian people are not demonic. Please don't take offense to this video right here. All Caucasian people are not demonic. Okay? Some Caucasian people have the Israelite bloodline inside of them, as I said, because everybody's gene pools have been corrupted. You know? But I want you guys to pay close attention to this, because there's a lot of people out there, they identify as African, and I used to do the same shit when I was caught up in the New Age teachings. Oh, the Africans look like us. They come in the same complexions as us. Some of them got the same lips, same eye colors, all of that. That's why the Israelites were deceived. They accepted them as their own people, you know? But they just didn't understand these people were real live serpents. Certain hairstyles came from ancient Egypt, you know, and certain people still wear them to this day. Ancient Egyptians, you guys, believed in cutting all your hair off. The men, they believed in cutting your hair off as a form of purification and cleanliness, right? You see that over here in America when they tell you, oh, it's not clean to have dreadlocks in the beard. You need to go be clean cut. You need to go get yourself cleaned up, cut your hair off, go get it. No, that's not the way that God, that's how you was able to identify the Israelites and the Egyptians back then. The Egyptians had certain haircuts, certain markings on their head, certain everything. They had certain customs. But then you had the Israelites, they were more natural people. You know, they had locks, they had beards, and royal looking clothes. They look like the Messiah because they come from the Messiah the bloodline, you know? They're the chosen people. All black people are not the chosen people. The relationships between Kemet and Africa extend beyond just the obvious biological and even spiritual kinship. Down to the very cultural attire, the people of Kemet and Africa were one people. Look at the clothes that they wore. The Israelites and the Egyptians were two different people. Okay? They had reptilian shape shifting statues in Egypt also for a reason. That was to show you that these beings were the pharaohs. You know? They would have one statue of the pharaoh as a reptile sitting next to the queen. And then they would have another statue of the pharaoh in a humanoid appearance. That was to show you that they had the ability to shapeshift. You feel me? There's a movie named The Serpent and the Rainbow that can get you guys to understand what I'm trying to get you guys to understand in this video. There's a movie that tells you everything that you need to know. The Serpent and the Rainbow. But pay close attention to this, you guys. People say the ancient Egyptians don't exist no more. I say as long as Africa exists, and there's Africans still following certain traditions passed on to them by their gods, oh, the ancient Egyptians will forever be alive. Okay? Now, to pay attention to this little meme right here. You see how this picture right here shows the dark, melanated Africans? We sold the Israelites the Edomite Hamite connection. That's what happened in the Bible. People trusted certain people because they feel like they look like them. And they sold them into slavery. They set them up. You know? Why would they set them up? The Egyptians went into shit like this. Painting their faces. Doing rituals. The Most High tells you not to do certain things to your body because it's an abomination to you. You know? The ancient Egyptians practiced voodoo. They believed in collecting bodily fluids from people to perform magic, to create spiritual children, demons. You feel me? People be thinking that just because they can't see a child develop out of, you know, semen that hasn't been used, that there's not a child being, that there's not a spirit being created. Every time somebody ejaculates, a spiritual child, a magical child is created. You know? And these things can do things in the spiritual realm. Whatever you visualize while you're on the brink of orgasm, that's what comes about to be. You know? When people are doing sex magic and rituals with each other, they're visualizing certain things. They're trying to summon up a demonic energy. That's why they're doing chants and shit like that. The masks, it's to represent the demon that they're trying to summon. You know? That's why they be jerking, doing all this weird shit. Like, The Israelites and the Egyptians were two different people. Just understand that. They were the snake people. You know? Israelites, you guys, look more like this. Their attires don't look goofy like the other ones I've been seeing lately. Like there's people that's been dressing up as Israelites and their attires have been looking like fucking costumes. These people right here look like the real deal, you know? The attire is nice, you know, it's royal. You just seems like you can't have nothing but respect for these people right here. The women ain't showing off their curves. The ancient Egyptians were very they were very provocative, sexual, trying to seduce people. That's why they believed in wearing the little beaded skirts and shit like that. All the shaking, doing all these weird tribal dances and stuff like that. That came from Egypt. You feel me? The Israelites were more calm and laid back people. They wore baggier clothing, more loose clothing to cover up their temples. Your body is the temple of God. It's not for me to be up there trying to be sexy, trying to flaunt my body off to other people. That's an Egyptian custom. That's why when you look at the clothes nowadays, it's getting tighter and tighter because it's meant to show off your curves. It's meant to make people look at you and lust at you. You know? Back then, the only thing you had to do was imagine what people look like. Nowadays, you get to actually see what a person looks like, even with the clothes on. Because the clothes is sculpting your whole fucking body out. You know? Israelites and the Egyptians were two different people, you guys. Israelites were the natural people of the earth. Okay? King Solomon said, I am black, but comely. O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. This was the King Solomon, the Song of Solomon. You know, one verse that really stuck with me is when he said, I am black, but comely. O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. Letting you know he is black. You know, he's a melanated man. You feel me? But so were the Egyptians. You know? And they look just like each other. Just see if it looks cool. I ain't finna make this video right here too long though, you guys. Before I end it, I'm gonna be showing you guys, like, look, to be sold on board the ship. Look, I can't even read all of this. Five Hebos just arrived for the Windward and Rice Cove. Well, this is the slavery joint right here. You can see the Egyptians is right there on the thing. That they were the ones in charge of it. They sold them aboard on ships. You know. The Egyptians was into a total different kind of stuff, you guys, because they was into demon worship. Their gods were demons. You feel me? Don't you guys ever forget that. The gods of Egypt were fallen angels, and that's why they were part human, part humanoid in appearance. You know? Africans are the ancient Egyptians. And before I end this video right here, you guys, the reason why they were called ancient Egyptians, because if you break down the word Egyptian, it sounds like reptilian. They were letting you know that they were a lineage from the reptile race, reptilians. You feel me? Snake people. That's why they were the snake Uraeas in Egypt. And I used to love the snake Uraeas. I used to be like, oh, that shit is so royal looking. Look at the pharaohs with the gold on. It looks so cool. This is demonic. No? It's all demonic. Guys, drop your thoughts and opinions in the comment section what you think about this video right here. Hopefully you guys learned something new from this video. The ancient Egyptians and the Israelites are two different people. Drop your thoughts and opinions in the comment section what you think about this. This is Electrifying Vibrations. Shalom.